Hi, Omar. Hi, Omar. How are you, Omar?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE Intercontinental Championship.
Why are
Get
you
ready
mad?
for the whole damn show.
I heard it was the worst fight in the world.
A man who lives his life way up high.
Was it that bad, Omar?
A man who's held multiple world titles, been the face of ECW. RVD is a man who sets the bar very high. Guys, there is only one Rob Van Dam.
Yeah, what, a 60-year-old Mike Tyson, Omar? Come on.
The one and only DDP. We are about to feel the pain.
This used to be one of my favorite wrestlers back in the day, Omar. DDP.
Career for DDP.
He was the Stone Cold Steve Austin before Austin.
Well, Dallas proves every night that age is just a number with his incredible conditioning. As energetic and powerful as competitors half his age. Introducing the challenger from Battle Creek, Michigan, weighing in at 235 pounds, Rob Van Dam. And his opponent from the Jersey Shore, weighing in at 248 pounds, the WWE Intercontinental Champion, Diamond Dallas Page.
What are you lying about,
The
Omar?
champion thrives in these situations. Pride and heart will be tested.
I know, I heard it was really bad, Omar.
RVD's full of confidence. Some
I
would
heard it
say
was
he's a
just
little
for
cocky.
money, really.
Van Dam's not afraid to tell his opponent, I'm better than you, and I'll show you in front of everyone. And it's cool. RVD has every right to be a little cocky, maybe even very cocky. Van Dam talks the talk and walks the walk. Not many competitors can match up with Rob Van Dam. RVD is one of the most dynamic competitors sports entertainment has ever seen. But hold on to your seat for DDP. Page is a master of offensive innovation and rushes his foes like a bat out of hell. When you mess
And
with
Jake
DDP,
Paul
it's all
said
nothing.
that,
There's no treaty, there's no ceasefire.
right? Didn't Jake
Page
Paul say he didn't
keeps
want to
coming
hurt
for
Mike
you.
Tyson or something like that? I don't know. The whole
RVD
fight was
obviously known for
dumb,
his
man.
unorthodox
Everybody.
style in the ring.
I think Rick's brother Tor went over his friend's house to see it. He said it was like the
here.
worst boxing match he ever saw in his life.
The wheels are turning.
Wait.
Here we go. All the way. That is
What the heck?
reckless
Did you
abandon
see his
being
eyes?
shown and paid off as well. What a punch. Locks in the gut wrench. All the way up and boom! Big buster. The challenger eating up some damage. Uh-oh. Elbow drop. Sent straight into the barricade. Oh, vicious Russian leg sweep. Right into the barricade. Whip back into the ring. Oof.
Wrestling is more real than that fight, huh, Omar?
And a double axe handle smash. Able to interrupt the attack. Ow! Oh. Ooh, stinging kick. Ooh, well measured. Boom, what impact. Boom! Oh, ouch! And a kick. Oh my gosh, what impact! The WWE Universe is pouring more fuel on his fire right now. Placed in the corner.
I know. He's in the game. I won't use him though.
DDP gets reversed.
Not in my promotion. I'll use him. Maybe I'll use him in an exhibition match.
Two. Oh, he kicked out. He's determined to keep this matchup going. Oh, right to the kidney.
I don't like the Paul brothers too much, Omar. I think they're just kind of like scapegoats for YouTube and stuff. I don't know.
Of exciting offense. Just like that, Paige finds a counter.
They remind me of like Mr. Beast or something. I don't know. It's just annoying.
Back with a rebound. A little showboating from Paige. He's lining him up. No! A slingshot cross body. Throwing all caution to the wind and leaping to the outside. Ooh, Van Dam avoids contact. Oh, God. Diamond Dallas Page. Diamond cutter. The champ will stay champ. Oh, boy, to the announce table now. Oh, yeah, gonna clean it off here. This is gonna be dangerous. We knew this superstar had a mean streak. We didn't realize that they were downright ruthless.
Where's the referee? Oh, I drew him out of the ring.
A kick out before won by the challenger. How? How?
They are Omar, too much of the couple.
He went right into that turnbuckle. He's got him scouted. Each competitor showing they've done their homework. Snake eyes. Float over Russian leg sweep. All the momentum.
Omar, you like wrestling, Omar?
And you have to hand it to him. He bided his time and waited for the right moment to truly strike against RVD.
Time to do a diamond cutter. Bang.
Dallas Page firing up.
You know what? We're gonna do a diamond cut. We're gonna do a diamond cutter right through the table, Omar.
Oh, man. No. Oh, just completely off target there. I think there's going to be some second guessing about trying that move again. Watch out. German suplex. tosses him back in now.
A springboard moonsault is exactly what you just saw. Look, I'll show you. Look, this is an Irish whip outside. Look. Can I reach him? I don't even think I could reach him with the springboard, actually. Hold on. He has to be closer, but let's see. Nope, that's a springboard moonsault, but I can't reach him. That's not a moonsault. That's a springboard, actually. A moonsault is a backflip. So basically, a springboard moonsault would be well, you really can't do a springboard moonsault unless you spring off from the inside. Oh! So what you saw me just do, that was a springboard. Hold on. This guy's annoying me. Alright. So, like, a springboard, any moonsault is like it's basically a moonsault's a backflip. So in order to do a springboard moonsault, you have to bounce from the inside and do a backflip. You really can't springboard and do a backflip from the outside. Does that make sense, Omar? Yeah, I'll show you. Like, this is I'll show you a regular. If I can just throw him out and he doesn't go all the way out, I can show you what a regular. Man, he really goes far out there, though, this little guy.
His eyes are fixated. He's
All right.
looking to end this.
This is a regular springboard. If I can. Yeah, I can't reach him because he goes all the way out. But that's a springboard. That's not a moonsault. That's just a regular springboard. A moonsault is a backflip. So really, you can only do it from the inside. You kind of bounce off the ropes and do a backflip.
Everyone get out of the way. These two are abandoning all restraints. Oh, with authority.
Now I'm going to show you. Right in the ring. Yeah, that's what it is, Omar. It's basically you bounce off the middle rope from the inside of the ring. You bounce off the middle rope and you do like a backflip onto the guy. The guy catches you, he falls down. I mean, it's kind of a cool move. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, Diamond Cutter through the table, Omar. Look. Oh my goodness, Omar.
We need help out here.
Stop with the punches over and over. You did, Omar. That's my controller drift right there. What's going on? Why do you keep doing it? Stop it. That's my controller drift. Yeah, that's a moonsault. I just told you that, Omar. It's a backflip. Look up Shawn Michaels. He used to always do moonsaults and stuff.
Oh, man, right to the arm. Hyperextend your elbow. A deafening cheer from the WWE Universe is reverberating around us. Absolutely unreal. Able to avoid there.
Yes!
Clearly through the roof.
Oh, that's good, Omar. Why is there drifts on every analog controller like ever invented? Omar, I want to do a diamond cutter off the top rope, but they're not going to let me do it, are they? See? Okay, that was a springboard, what you just saw there. That's a moonsault. That was a regular moonsault. Not a springboard moonsault, but he did the first. He did a springboard, and then he did a regular moonsault. Come on, you gotta learn the fake wrestling moves. They're fun. And you and your friend could beat each other up, and nobody really gets hurt. Because wrestling doesn't really hurt you, unless you fall on the concrete. I would be careful with that. Alright, that's it. We're going to end this with a diamond cutter, Omar.
Well-placed elbow to break up the maneuver. Straight punch, nothing fancy.
Here it is. Diamond cutter, Omar. That's it. It's over, Omar. Hey, Omar.
Barely able to kick out. I thought the champ had it in the bag. This is how much the championship means. You can see the sweat drip out of the challengers every pore. I've lost count of how many times this match should have ended by now. I can't believe this atmosphere. Everyone wanted a banger, and boy, you got it. Oh, man, right to the arm. Hyperextend your elbow. RVD is getting picked apart right now. Yeah, Van Dam has got to get out of the weeds in a hurry. Looking for a suplex with their opponent putting on the brakes in a reversal.
That's a spring.
At breakneck speed, going fast and living dangerously. Down on the shoulder.
Slingshot, maybe? Slingshot, they call it?
And he gets delivered back into the ring. Down opponent and a double axe handle smash. Oh man, right to the arm. Hyperextend your elbow. Oh, wicked kick to the lower back. Uh-oh. Dropping the elbow right on the knee. Hitting the elbow
All right.
drop.
We're doing another diamond cutter. How many times is he going to get out of this, Omar? I don't know.
Diamond Dallas Page. Diamond cutter. A championship level move. Cover. There's two. What a title defense by Diamond Dallas Page. Here is your winner, and still WWE Intercontinental Champion, Diamond Dallas Page. What a win for the champ as he retains the title. He's definitely fought
He's the Intercontinental Champion, Omar.
He should be really proud of.
DDP. Alright, who's up? Bret the Hitman Hart versus Brock Lesnar, Omar. And then we have Jey Uso versus Lex Luger. Jey Uso's gonna have to lose that one. Alright, so we're gonna play as Bret Hart, Omar, because I like Bret Hart better. Oh, he springboarded outside the ring. I'm watching it. Hold on. Yeah, actually, it was pretty good. That was really good, actually, Omar. Look, I'm not saying that they're not talented, the Paul brothers. No, you're thinking of the British Bulldog, Omar. No, this is Bret the Hitman Hart. They're in the heart. Bret the Bulldog. Omar, yeah, that springboard he did was actually really good. See what he did? He didn't slingshot. He actually jumped to the ring apron and springboarded off the ring apron and did a moonsault. That, I gotta say, was pretty impressive, actually. Yeah, look, I'm not, again, Omar, I'm not saying that they're not talented, the Paul brothers. I just not a big fan of them. I don't know why. I mean, they have a good, they're talented. They have a good show there, a podcast, whatever. Their podcast isn't that bad. Yeah, you see what he did, Omar? I'll show you what he did. He jumped. See, a springboard is like 95% from the inside of the ring. But what Logan Paul did there is he jumped on the ring apron and then turned himself around and springboarded off the ring apron into a moonsault. That was a pretty... That's why I said I didn't think you could do that from to outside the ring, but I guess if you stay on the apron, you can. You see what he did? He jumped over the ropes, turned around, jumped on the middle rope, and did a backflip outside the ring because he went on the apron. The ring apron is like on the outside, like you kind of, you know? So that's what he did. Because 95% of springboards are from the inside. So he was doing something kind of different. I'll give him credit. Like, you know, look, that's a pretty cool move he did. Not gonna lie. I'm not saying they're not talented. Most wrestlers wouldn't even try to do that.
And we're underway with the Hitman. I have to tell you, the way Brett has been treating the fans lately has been appalling, and I believe an apology is needed. An apology.
See how Brett was on the ring apron there? That's basically what he did. He did a springboard on the apron.
The apology should come from them, not Brett. The Hitman's done nothing but insult people.
He's a top. Bret Hart's like a top 10, top 8 guy or something.
What a slap in the face. But don't discount the man he's facing. A man who has been counting the minutes to getting this fight started. Boom. And set right into the corner. Things went from bad to worse. You know what, guys? I was afraid it was going to get to this point.
Bret Hart should be on everybody's top 10 at least.
Top rope. Superplex. Believe me when I say you cannot overstate the amount of pain that comes. No way. High risk cross body. Pinpoint precision. Right on target. A manager grabbing anything from under the ring is beyond unfair. No. Suicide dive. Toss caution out the window, and it paid off. Adrenaline is through the roof now. Corey, we know about Bret Hart's superior technical ability. So what does his opponent have to do to avoid that and win here tonight?
The best... Omar, wrestling is fake, Omar. Like, if you're thinking of the best, you gotta, okay. Wrestling is fake. So when you say the best, you can't think of, like, who's the best in a sense, like who wins the most, right? You gotta think of who has the best skills on a microphone, which is cutting a promo. You gotta think of who's the best in-ring performer of all time. Then there's who has the best look of all time. See, wrestling is compartmentalized in many different things, right? So, a guy like Stone Cold Steve Austin has a really good look, and he's a really good promo guy on a microphone. Is he the best in-ring performer? No. It's hard to say. I go, my opinion, I would say Undertaker or Shawn Michaels, in my opinion. Those two are the best overall. You could probably Google that. Say, what you could Google, who's the best? All right, go on Google and say, who's the best in-ring performer of all time, and see who comes up.
Overpower Hart. Ducked underneath. German German suplex turns the tides. Scoop slam, making it look easy. He was waiting for him to make his move. Steered clear of that. Hoisted up. Snap suplex.
Yeah, he comes up, right? Alright, so that means Shawn Michaels, the guy that I like a lot, that you always see me picking with the hearts on his pants, the good-looking guy, right? He's the best in-ring performer. Now, if you type in Google, who's the best promo mic skill? Who's the best mic skills of all time in wrestling or promo? Who cuts the best promo or mic skills in wrestling? You could just type in who has the best mic skills in wrestling of all time, and you'll probably get guys like The Rock, Stone Cold, and Hulk Hogan. Those will be your top three there.
There is a fine line between strain and pain when your shoulder is worked like that. There he goes, right into the corner. Hitman, that might be it. Hitman just barely able to kick out. If the count had been even a millisecond,
What does it say?
Things would be over. Oh, look at this.
They might put John Cena on that list. I don't think he deserves to be.
Gets to the ropes, forcing the break. A lot of damage done, but the ropes offer a reprieve. Lands the haymaker. And that was an efficient display of offense with that maneuver. Does the official not see him removing the turnbuckle pad?
Jake the Snake Roberts? Really? That's a bad decision. Alright, The Rock I can agree with. Who else does it say? Jake the Snake was okay. I wouldn't put him in a top 20 in promo cutting. The only reason they put him there is because he was part of the 316 promo, which was really Austin.
There's the crucifix, nicely done. 2, a kick out before 3.
All right, so if you said who cut the best promo, yes, Jake the Snake and Stone Cold probably cut the best promo with the 316 line. But okay, forget about promo. Just say, type in Google, who has the best mic skills in wrestling?
Battle is starting to weigh down on him.
Ric Flair, would I put him there? Top 5 maybe. Who else?
Pinpointing the leg in the corner. About to be the proverbial one-legged man in the you-know-what kicking contest. Their opponent gets countered with a right hand.
Yeah, no, Rock is the best. He's number 1 on mic skills by far. Him and Stone Cold should be they should be 1 and 2.
Oh no! Pow! Knee all the way to the outside.
The Rock in his heyday, dude, nobody could touch him on a microphone. He was the guy.
Back in the ring now.
But Hulk Hogan should be on that list too, to be honest.
Sleeper hold cinched in deep. Fade it and breaks out of the sleeper. He is getting rid of the turn.
And who's the second guy then? Austin, Stone Cold, like I said?
The excellence of execution, looking to cinch it in. Can he turn his opponent over? Yes. The Hitman has the sharpshooter cinched in. Is Hart gonna tap him with the
Steve Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin Omar was number 2.
waist lock. Able to counter.
Alright, who's number 2? Hulk Hogan?
Big right hand.
If they put John Cena as number 2, that's some bullcrap.
Retaliation from the Hitman. There's the crucifix, nicely done.
Ric Flair! He's like more like number 4 or 5. No way. They're just giving him homage because he's been in the business so long. I don't know about if I agree with that. He deserves to be up there, but not. I don't know about 2, but Austin. Wait. So Austin's 3. Is Hulk Hogan at least in the top 5 with with microphone? He should be. Hogan cut some great promos.
Driven down. Cinching in a waist lock, but right hands manages to fight out with a sip. Step through. Here it comes. Bret Hart, sharpshooter. He's got the sharpshooter. Give up now. Swallow your. And the rope forces the break. Great effort, though. There's a crucifix. Nicely done. There's 2. It's over. Brutality finally comes to an end.
All right, so you see, these are the categories I'm trying to tell you about, Omar. So you have mic skills, that's a category. In-ring performer is a category. And then you have gimmick, that's their overall gimmick. That's their look when they come out. So you could say, now your next Google homework would be look up who has the best gimmick in wrestling, or who was the best gimmick of all time in wrestling, and that'll be your third category. And that's your 3 categories of who's the GOAT, Omar. And then there's a longevity option too. Longevity is like I guess you could call it the LeBron James category. John Cena would be the GOAT of longevity. John Cena is the LeBron James of wrestling. Yeah, but he's a manager, so you can't go by him. Yeah, he is. He's look, Paul Heyman on mic skills is the GOAT man. Yes, if you were to say who's the best mic skilled manager of all time, Paul Heyman, number 1. I would agree. But how many managers are there? He's a fat Humpty Dumpty. He's not doing anything else. They didn't put Hogan in the top promo guy. That's blasphemy, man. You gotta put Hogan on the list. You gotta, dude. All right. So you know what, Omar? Type in who the best wrestling gimmick of all time. Put that in there on Google. I still think Hogan should be like a number 5 or 6 or something in mic skills, but.
Content with being the right hand anymore, Jey Uso has set out on his own path. And it's a particularly treacherous path these days. There are a lot of men.
You know what I mean, Omar? What does it say if you type in best gimmick of all time who in wrestling? Best wrestling gimmick of all time. I bet you're going to get Hogan, you're going to get Ultimate Warrior, you're going to get, Alright, no. Randy Savage, yeah, he's up there. I'd say Randy Savage is in the top 5. Wait, hold on. All right. Forget about the AI. What does the top 10 list say? Best wrestling gimmick of all time. My opinion is going to be Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage will be up there, Ultimate Warrior. Those are going to be in the top 4, I think. Think about it this way. Alright, Stone Cold also. Stone Cold, Ultimate Warrior, Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage would be top 5 in best wrestling gimmick. So, Omar, those are the 4 categories of wrestling. You have best in-ring performer, you have longevity, best gimmick, and best microphone skills. And that's all it is. Shawn Michaels, best in-ring performer. Bret Hart would be up there too. Kurt Angle would be up there. Best mic skills. The Rock would be up there. Ric Flair would be up there. Stone Cold Steve Austin would be up there. Best gimmicks. I personally think Hulk Hogan is probably the best gimmick, but some people may not. Ultimate Warrior would be best gimmick. But it all, now, how do you determine the GOAT? You add all of them together and see who comes up on the top. Also, another thing about wrestling is merchandise, because it is fake. It's not a real, fight. So, who sold the most merchandise? That's another big one too. So, if you type in on Google what wrestlers sold the most merchandise of all time, that also is a GOAT contributor. What wrestler was the biggest draw of all time? Like that's another contributor. There's like a lot of contributors to what makes a wrestler a GOAT, and it's like kind of like the wrestler that kind of has a good high number on all of them is going to be a GOAT wrestler. All right, what list is that for now? Gimmick? Or is that mic skills? I guess that's gimmick. All right. The fact that they don't, it seems like it's heavily biased. The fact that Hogan isn't on there. Hogan should be number 2 or 1. But the fact that he's not even on there goes to show you that they're probably pissed off at Hogan with the racism video that he did that one time. Undertaker, I agree with. Austin, yeah. The Rock, sure. Roman Reigns, really? Roman Reigns? No, I'm sorry, but I put Cena ahead of Roman Reigns. How about that? The New Day, really? No. Kane, okay, not a bad gimmick. Mr. McMahon, yeah, Mr. McMahon was pretty good. Ric Flair as a gimmick, Triple H as a gimmick. Yeah, all right, that list is okay. My only problem would be Roman Reigns and New Day. I kind of would take them out. And Paul Heyman. He doesn't deserve to be a gimmick. He's a friggin' manager. Get him off the list. Managers are not wrestlers. He's not a gimmick. He's not a... I'm sorry. Yeah. What is his gimmick? He wears a suit and he's fat. What is his gimmick? He doesn't have one. That's a stupid... All right, Paul Heyman. Get him off the list. Roman Reigns, number 5. I put him as like number 9. I put Ric Flair higher on the list. Ric Flair would go to like 6. New Day wouldn't even be on the list. And everybody else you could leave alone.
With a total package, and obviously Luger's greatest weapon is his power, which is only eclipsed by his arrogance. Well, Luger's not running for political office.
All right, search Omar.
Package couldn't care less with the jerks in the WWE universe. Up high. Oh my, apron senton. The champ is willing to gamble big.
There's 2 more categories for the GOAT. Are you ready?
To keep the title. When taking on Jey Uso, you have the constant looming threat of his devastating super kick. How do you strategize around that attack as Jey's opponent? Well, I've taken a few of those, so I know you can take the super kick out of the equation entirely by attacking Jey's legs. Well-targeted offense on Jey's lower half will make it difficult for him to land that attack in full force. If you can't do that, then I hope you're really good at dodging kicks. Uh-oh, clearing off the announce table. This is about to go from bad to worse. This is not going to be pretty. I don't want to see this happen. Oh, brutal forearm.
Omar, you'll get Hogan on some lists. Hold on. Well, because Hogan's politics in wrestling was kind of... All right. Type in, who was the biggest draw in wrestling history? Now, draw is a big one. Draw means how many people that how much of the crowd you're gonna pull in, right? So like if you're gonna sell out an arena of like 100,000 people, who was the biggest draw in wrestling history? You may see Hogan's name up on some of that. You may see Stone Cold. Let's see. What does it say, Omar?
Military press. Just punched him right in the mouth. Relentless. Right to the face. My God. He's been placed in the corner now.
No one like Hogan, Omar. Hogan is responsible for wrestling, Omar.
And he has an answer for Luger.
If it wasn't for Hogan, you wouldn't even have wrestling on the map.
Shot to the chest.
Even if Ricks was in here, he would agree with me on that.
Punch right to the face. Luger cuts him off. Running FTO plants him. Nicely done.
Where are you, Omar?
Goodness gracious. You have to imagine the disdain it takes to repeatedly stop someone like that. Tossing him aside. Just a perfect mix of pure power and bad intentions. Point of the elbow, nailed it. Oh, he knew what was coming. Put in a position now. Straight impact on the throat. Here's the pin. Title on the line. 3-0. And this was just so.
Where are you, Omar?
Oh, goodness. Doesn't get much closer to 3 than that. Ooh. Oh, what a counter. Back into the ring. Elusiveness from Luger. A disrespectful shove there. The adrenaline is pumping, and the
Roman Reigns is only a big draw because he's modern and wrestling has a very large outreach at the moment. But yet its ratings aren't too good right now. So Roman Reigns is a wild card in that mix. Hulk Hogan, #1 draw. You know how big that is to be the #1 draw? That means that you sold the most tickets to the show. That's a huge goat. That's like the reason you watched wrestling was because of Hulk Hogan. That's the best way to put it. So that's a huge accomplishment by Hulk. There's another accomplishment. You could say, all right, so Hogan was the biggest draw in wrestling. Then you can say who. Okay, type in this. Who is the most famous wrestler of all time? Who is the top 5 most famous wrestlers of all time?
The challenger being outclassed here. This is a very dangerous situation now. Jey Uso can come back from this. After all, he has been down since day one-ish. What does that even mean? Hard whip into the corner. Oh, what a drop kick. Cover by the challenger. Close call for the challenger. That had to have been closer to 3 than he'd like.
So, Omar, the ugly man sold the most tickets, Omar. You don't think that means something? The one that you always think is so ugly sold the most tickets, Omar. People must like to look at the ugly man.
Physical condition to pull off a move with that much weight behind it. Rex powers him up. Will he tap out? Whoa, look at that. And somehow he's able to work his way out of the hold. Boom.
All right, keep going. Give me another list, Omar.
And Luger ripping up his opponent. Main event.
Okay, so
Big dreams about to go up in smoke. Yep.
So look what we have here. These are two very big GOAT lists. Hulk Hogan is number one for the most famous wrestler of all time, and he's number one for selling the most tickets of all time. That's a huge, huge accomplishment. So this is why Hulk Hogan, if you're going to put greatest wrestlers of all time, any list that doesn't have Hulk Hogan in the top 5 doesn't know what they're talking about. Because wrestling is about selling tickets and it's about being famous, right? It's fake. It's not about talent, even though talent is good, but talent is not what sells the show. It's the everything from gimmick, microphone, you name it. And the fact that they're not putting Hogan on those lists, yet Hogan was the biggest draw, goes to show you that those lists are not, they're mistaken. Undertaker's a huge draw too because of his gimmick. So when you look at the gimmick and you see how it says number 1 is Undertaker and number 2 is Steve Austin, why is it that Hogan is not on that gimmick list? Because the person doesn't like Hogan, but the person truly doesn't understand what Hogan did for wrestling. You see what I'm saying? Undertaker, yes, should be on a gimmick list. So should Hogan, and Hogan should be number 1. End of story. Especially in his red and yellow gimmick. What list? Going from 10 to 1. Hulk Hogan, Sting, Triple H, John Cena, Ric Flair, Bret Hart, The Rock, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Stone. Shawn Michaels is number 3 of all time? You'd have to... Oh my, I don't agree with these lists, man. Look, Shawn Michaels is one of my favorite... He's my favorite wrestler of all time. But just because Shawn Michaels is my favorite, I would not put him as a number 3. Hulk Hogan as a number 10? No. That list needs to be rearranged. I'll tell you, this is how that list needs to go. Okay, so Stone Cold Steve Austin, greatest wrestler of all time. I'd put him as number 2. Undertaker, all right, number 1. Hulk Hogan, number 3. The Rock, number 4. Bret Hart, 5. John Cena, 6. Ric Flair, 7. Triple H, 8. 9 would be Sting. And I'm missing somebody here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who am I missing? I think I mentioned them all, actually. Yeah, so that's it. Omar. Sting was like one of the best in WCW, man. He used to be really cool. A lot of people forget about Sting. He was really good. Well, I have Sting in my... I'll show you. Hold on. You know what it is? It's not that he's irrelevant. It's that he's never in the games. He's always under some sort of stupid contract crap that they don't like to put him in the games. Because I'd be using him right now if he was in the game. Look. I'm going to edit my superstars. These are my custom superstars. Look. Who's that, Omar? Who's that, Omar? I wouldn't have them downloaded if I didn't like them, Omar. Okay? The problem is that this is not a legitimate Sting. It's a Sting that's not supposed to be in the game. There's no commentary. I don't like using created wrestlers so much because, yeah, he's cool, Omar. He was one of my my favorite WCW guys back in the day. He deserves to be in that spot on that list. But I would rearrange the other guys a little bit, but... Sting was over, man. Sting was really cool. He didn't have a longevity like some of the other guys, though, but he was cool. No, Omar. Yes, there's a musician named Sting. It's not the same guy. It's a different Sting, Omar. I don't care, Omar. I get copyright warnings all the time. I'm not making money with this channel, so they strike you if you make money with this game because of the music. The music is all copyrighted, which I don't know why 2K doesn't take care of that. 2K is such a garbage company at times, dude. They don't care about their consumers at all sometimes. I truly feel that with 2K as a whole. Not just the wrestling, but their basketball especially. Oh, I don't know. I use that channel for different things. I don't like to put video games on there. Talk about God now. Talk about I was doing reaction. I was doing politics. But that's not really a channel for video games. Yeah, I gotta listen to a whole album then. It's like a lot, no? Alright, let's go to the next show. Well, they are. You know what's really doing good? AI channels. AI narrative channels that are like 2 hours long. You really want to make money? Make AI channels and cover like a topic. And be kind of well educated in something and have AI do your voice and put AI images and like a slideshow, and you will make money. I know most people do hate those channels, but they get millions of views. I'm not a big fan of the night of Omar, but Omar, you like wrestling a little more now that you're learning about it? Shawn Michaels versus The Rock, Omar. They're on the GOAT list, these two. Who's the Intercontinental? DDP? I would do custom match. We're gonna do Bulls Count Anywhere. Um, DDP. DDP has to give up the Intercontinental title now. He's had it for a while. Who does he give it up to, though? Omar? Dude, Shawn Michaels is awesome, Omar. Yes, Shawn Michaels is... He's got a funny look sometimes, but he's got some of the funniest videos out there, man. And no, he ain't gonna beat. Rock ain't beating Michaels. Not in my game. Not in my game. Cody Rhodes is a jobber in my game. Alright, who is DDP gonna lose to? Hold on. We gotta give the IC title to someone deserving. I mean, we could give it to John Cena, but I don't really want him to be champion yet. Kane? Kevin Nash. Give it to Scott Hall. That's a good choice. Or Macho Man. Macho Man or Scott Hall should get the IC title. I'd say Scott Hall. Or Mr. Perfect. Alright, Mr. Perfect. He's gonna get it. Who, the Iron Sheik, Omar? Is that who you're calling your... He's funny, the Iron Sheik, Omar. You ever watch him on Howard Stern? He used to go crazy, cursing and everything. He's out of his mind. He died recently, though, but yeah. Wait, alright, so... Alright, Michaels... Omar, Michaels was a lady, man. Omar, he used to get the women. I mean, he was a cool guy back then. Don't let his look fool you. He was like the Brad Pitt of wrestling. Okay, so I need Mr. Perfect to win here, and then we want Scott. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, who's the champion? Lex Luger. Lex Luger. All right. Whose album is that? With J. Cole, Omar? Oh, it's Michaels versus The Rock, Omar. Heartbreak Kid, Omar.
Shawn Michaels has entered the building. The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from San Antonio, Texas, weighing in at 227 pounds, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Looks like Michaels is brimming with confidence.
Oh yeah, Omar.
Shawn's an extraordinary competitor, and he knows it. He is the Axis WWE spins on for a reason. Pretty sure you and Michaels are the only ones who really think that. The world doesn't actually revolve around HBK. This competitor has the pressure of the world on his shoulders. Not only facing The Rock, but also having to sexy millions in the WWE Universe. Well, the Great One has arrived. It's check-in time at the SmackDown Hotel.
And his opponent from Miami, Florida, weighing in at 275 pounds, The Rock!
You can just feel the energy of the Great One as he saunters down to the ring.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
Sports entertainment, and he's taken WWE by storm. If you whoa, this ain't sing along with The Rock, Saxton. I thought it was. He's the trailblazing, eyebrow-raising phenomenon. The Great One, ready for action. Every time he steps into a ring, The Rock brings with him a legendary lineage. But just like his grandfather, father, uncles, and cousins, he's made a name for himself in his business.
The Rock talks a lot about mana, which means spirit. When you watch him compete, you can practically see the fighting spirit of his
Why
family
Michaels is the
grow
best
through,
in-ring performer,
driving him
Omar.
to achieve amazing things.
I'm sure The Rock is hoping to achieve more amazing things here tonight.
But he's got the Heartbreak Kid standing in his way. Shawn Michaels is a spectacular talent who matches his
Suicide dive.
unbelievable athleticism, just going for it all and landing a direct hit.
For Shawn Michaels, we know the experience level, Corey, but what kind of strategy does he need to deploy to have his hands raised at the end of the matchup?
The greatest weapon in HBK's arsenal is sweet chin music. As long as Shawn can remain vertical, it can come out of nowhere without warning. It's the ultimate equalizer.
Sharp punch.
Oh, that might have just broken something.
Looks like that disrupted The Rock's typically dazzling style. The Rock hoping to head this attack off at the pass.
this. Michaels using his in-ring skills to run circles around the Rock. Unleashing a barrage on their opponent.
The showstopper looking as motivated as ever.
Clothesline.
Omar, you there? You know this game got nominated for Best Fighting Game of the Year.
Fast press! Fast press! Yes, press! Every strike more devastating than the last.
Enough already.
Just punched him right in the mouth. Relentless. Solid punch. He must have had that scouted. He reverses it. Defiant counter from HBK. And he goes into the ring. And he sends him into the corner. Boom, right to the midsection. Right in the
Did it? I don't know.
basket.
But I'm surprised a wrestling game got nominated. Who would have thought wrestling would get nominated? 2K better not mess it up, man. I'm telling you. Because the people who made this game actually made a decent game. But 2K as a business and a corporation is going to screw things up. I'm telling you. Because 2K can't help themselves. They make a good product. Like their basketball is good. Their wrestling is good. But the problem is they get too greedy. And once the greed gets a hold of 2K, that's it. You heard? And I'm not lying to you, Omar. I'm telling you the truth.
Way to the floor. And Rock gets reversed.
Ducking out of trouble.
Sequence of reversals here. Both superstars clearly studied game tape ahead of time. He deflects it right back.
Was mounted with punches and not. Oh, a nasty stop to finish it off.
Michaels turns that around.
Flying forearm delivered by HBK. Michaels back up. Atomic drop delivered. And the body slam.
High risk. HB Shizzle. The showstopper taking it straight to his opponent's heart.
Do you guys take requests?
This is one of the best finishes of all time, Omar. The super kick, the super kick.
The Rock just got checked in.
What an amazing kick out. Next level tenacity.
Here comes the Hall of Famer, Mr. WrestleMania. Well scouted by the Great One.
Just carrying the opposition anywhere they want. Strong elbows right on the mark.
I also think The Rock is bleeding now, guys.
Oh, look out. It's on now. Big shots being fired right now. Neither competitor letting up.
Ooh. It looks like we've got ourselves a brawl here. Ooh. Who will break first? That is the question.
This is a war of attrition with neither superstar wanting to be the one who surrenders.
Omar, look how bloody I made The Rock, Omar.
Series of jabs right to the jaw. Wind up.
Finishes that series of strikes with one last big hit. HBK quickly building momentum. Sweet chin music from out of nowhere. Big time
from Michaels. Cover. It's a match, but a victory he'll savor forever.
Here is your winner, the Heartbreak Kid,
Yep.
A once-in-a-lifetime performance from Shawn Michaels. Able to pick off the rock.
If you look up,
Speculation settled with Michaels' victory.
if you look up best finishes of all time, I bet you Sweet Chin Music is like a top 3.
Certainly a big statement being made here. So is The Rock really going to take
At least top 5.
We haven't seen the last.
I don't know. You think so? Sports game? I don't think it no. It's nominated for fighting game, not sports game. Unless it's nominated for sports game. I don't think so. I think it's nominated for fighting game. It's not gonna win though. Omar, 2K is not a likable company, Omar. 2K doesn't even care if their game wins or not. They want to make money. That's all they want to do. See, this is what... Oh, all right, then if it's nominated for sports, then it could win then. Well, is 2K25 nominated, Omar? NBA 2K25. We gotta try to get the Intercontinental title.
The following contest is a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Well, I hope the wrestling wins. It may win, actually, because people get very angry at NBA 2K25, Omar. So, you know what? It may win. I have a feeling, though, FC25 is going to win. The soccer game, because people love soccer, Omar.
Perfect. We are about to see a technical masterpiece. Football, bowling, baseball, golf. Isn't there anything this man can't do perfectly? One of the most charismatic and athletic superstars in WWE history. Mr. Perfect walks in no man's shadow. One of the all-time greats.
What is it?
Some people
I don't even know.
spend their entire lives striving for greatness. Mr. Perfect.
What is it, Omar?
just
Arc
obtained
2 or something?
greatness naturally. All right, guys, here it comes. It's my favorite part. DDP is in the building. One of the greatest underdogs in WCW history. Began his career as a manager in WCW before becoming an all-time great. A Hall of Fame career in the
Omar, you think Rebirth is going to win Game of the Year?
and proved that he knows the business from every angle.
Rosedale, Minnesota, weighing in at 260 pounds, Mr.
You gotta see how they do it.
Perfect. And his opponent from the Jersey Shore, weighing in at 248 pounds, the WWE
Is that the one with the monkey, Omar?
Continental Champion, Diamond Dallas Page.
Is that a game you were playing with a... I saw you were playing some game with a monkey, Omar.
Lots of competitors in the back dream for a shot at this title.
It's nominated, Omar? Yeah, but Omar, you like monkeys and stuff.
And Falls Count Anywhere certainly adds an element of unpredictability to this match.
The name says it all. The action of this match could spill out to anywhere in this arena.
Man.
Oh, man.
Drops the hammer.
Right on the lower back. Rapid knee strikes.
What is it? Like you're just a monkey? What is it?
If you want to win.
Ooh, elbow strike. This is just establishing.
Yeah, but Omar, FF7 Rebirth has a huge fan following. I don't know, man. It's gonna be hard to beat that. A lot of people say Rebirth is gonna win. I never even got to play Rebirth. I just felt like it was too much work.
Oh no, now that he has the kendo stick, I definitely do not want to be in his path of destruction.
And we just saw some serious offense.
The rivalry has reached a new level when superstars collide in this combat zone. Corey, what are the keys to remember for the competitors?
You got to tee off on an opponent. Use everything in your vicinity as a weapon. It's about a competitor getting theirs by any means. The more damage you inflict, the better. This is all about total destruction. Nothing is off limits.
And you never want to count a competitor out, but there seems to be no signs of defense right now.
Ooh. Boom.
What do you play as a monkey, Omar?
Diamond Dallas Page.
Omar, you always liked monkeys, even in Ark.
Position, getting this crowd on their feet.
Belly to belly. For the win. 2. And a kick out again. This is incredible.
Everyone thought that was 3.
Hold on, Omar. What are you sending me here? Omar, he looks like a monkey man. It's like, what is he, like a martial art monkey? Who's this guy with the tentacles? Yeah, a little Buddhist. It's a crazy looking game, almost. It looks like God of War meets like Ghost of Tsushima. Very Japanese, this game, Walmart. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, there's probably like an Elden Ring type of element to it too, huh?
Hard shot to the back. Here's the pump handle. Backbreaker. Taking a moment to get kicked to the gut by DDP. The wheels are turning. How's it look? Diamond cutter. The champ has this one in hand now for the win. 2. Kicks out. Just kicked out.
It was almost just lights out on their championship dreams.
Let's see if that kick
I probably would, but I don't get into games that much no more anymore.
And there needs to be a refocus now.
I go to church a lot. I do a lot of stuff now. I can't.
Played in their heads right now.
The challenger's looking shaken. Unhinged offense from DDP's arsenal.
I play Kenshi sometimes. I play this. I don't really play too much.
Gotta find a way to get out of this. My goodness.
You think it's gonna beat Rebirth though? I don't know about that. Even though I'm gonna say it looks really good, I feel like Rebirth has the pull with the fans. It's gonna be very hard to beat Rebirth because of the Final Fantasy fans. Oh my!
Back into the hip toss.
FF7 is like a friggin' is very overhyped. Just the name alone.
Kick to the gut. Oh, brutal forearm. Drops the hammer.
Right on the lower back.
Ooh, walloped by a huge club.
Ooh, sharp elbow.
Mr. Perfect stringing together some impressive offense now. Mr. Perfect's in a position of power here.
I don't know. I would like to see who wins. When is the awards anyway?
The crowd is fired up. Perfect is fired up. He's looking for something. This could get dangerous.
Oh my God! A sledgehammer. This is going too far. For the win to retain the championship.
He breaks the ref's count before 2.
Somehow still in this fight. Not down and out yet. Pulled back into the hip toss.
And that was an efficient form of offense with that move.
Snapmare. Beautiful rolling neck snap. Totally perfect. Elbow thrown to break up the maneuver. Dropped him with a big shoulder tackle. Elbow drop.
Mistake made by Page.
Mr. Perfect, hooking the arm, hooking the leg.
Perfect flex.
The champ's eyes look glazed over.
2 count.
He kicked out at 2.
The title still hanging in the balance.
Resilience of a champion on display.
Mr. Perfect.
Uh-oh.
Kick out.
Obviously still has some fight left.
A club with the right forearm. Oh, a neck breaker. The challenger is not in a great place.
But you have to admit, at this point in a Falls Count Anywhere match, there's no way you didn't expect things to be going much, much worse for him, Cole.
He's outside the ring now.
Hope he's got a plan.
He's gonna do diamond cut Omar.
Has them hooked, looking for sliced bread. What a counter! Power slam.
Sorry, not on my watch, DDP. Not on my
Final
watch.
stage in this matchup, and this audience is fully aware of it.
Yeah, they know another turning point can come at any second, and that can be the instant that ends it all.
A forced introduction to the WWE Universe.
Believe it or not, I've had worse meet and greets, but I'll change my tune if someone gets pinned out there.
Watch out, everyone. You don't get in their way.
I don't know, Cole. This is a once-in-a-lifetime selfie opportunity.
And did you hear the impact of that?
Haymaker connects.
Look, Omar, we're fighting amongst the crowd. It's kind of
Can
cool,
someone
no?
Get control, please.
Now would be a good time to vacate your seat.
Shifts it back onto him.
A stalemate of counters.
That is a power-packed punch.
Ringside barriers couldn't contain this match.
No telling where they'll end up now. One reversal after another. These two are reading each other's minds.
Oh, man, jarring headbutt.
The action's found its way into the crowd, and there's no telling if and when it could end.
There's no strategy to plan for this environment. Look at this, going counter for counter. Sequence of reversals there. And one more reversal. Talk about evenly matched here.
Maybe they should think about taking the fight somewhere else.
They already have, Saxton. Thinking's not really on the menu right now.
Ooh.
Ooh, ooh. Oh,
Oh, man. Oh. Oh.
it's always disorienting taking those hits above the shoulders.
And this is
Why
the
is
line
wrestling
of opposite
scary,
we're dealing
Omar?
with. The ring literally can't contain it.
There are a lot of ways this can go sideways. Everything on that stage looks like it hurts. Swinging neck breaker. This is a pretty dangerous place to fight. Screens, exposed metal, ledges, so much could go wrong very quickly.
pure devastation. Cover. 2.
No, I didn't want to. All right, you know what? I'll be honest, DDP.
Here is your winner, and still WWE Intercontinental Champion, Diamond Dallas Page.
So why you say it's Omar? You know you don't like it. Then why you? Omar, I thought you said you were liking wrestling. Now you don't like it no more. Because it was a Falls Count Anywhere match, Omar. Come on, Omar. Omar, they get hurt, you know. Gravity's real, Omar. You think gravity isn't real? There's more injuries in wrestling than MMA, Omar. Fact.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE Championship.
Is it just me, or is this entire arena shaking?
Already a dominant champion in WWE. Now,
Omar, you're doing too much math, Omar.
For WCW with an iron fist, thanks to the NWO.
Omar, they're teaching you too much in that learning center. They're teaching you too much, Omar. Too much math.
titles on the line here in this one.
And I don't remember the last time the champ was in this much jeopardy, Cole. Tonight might just be the night the title changes hands.
That's Lex Luger, Omar.
The champ facing perhaps his biggest challenge yet. Now, can he rise to meet the challenge?
Look at all the muscles, Omar.
Introducing the challenger from Hollywood, California, weighing in at 302 pounds, Hollywood Hogan.
No, Omar Lex Luger.
Weighing in at 275 pounds, the WWE Champion, the Total Package, Lex Luger.
You win this title, you are a top name in this industry.
Omar, your favorite wrestler is wrestling on the left here.
Lex Luger in action here.
I
He is
don't
such
know,
an
Omar.
incredible physical specimen. Look for Luger to
However
assert
they write it, Omar.
Lex Luger's upper body strength is unbelievable. Any hold he applies can turn into a devastating submission move. And it's that mentality, Byron, that makes Luger a ruthless competitor. Luger wants to beat you, then humiliate you.
Omar, you like his hair? Hulk Hogan's hair?
I have to imagine that it's only a matter of time before Hollywood Hulk Hogan pulls out some of his more underhanded tricks.
Who needs tricks when you've got muscles like Hollywood Hogan? Scoop slam. Ooh. Stiff kick. Ooh. Oh, what a kick. Ooh. Oh, man. Boom. That kick will stop you in your tracks. Reversal. Can he take advantage? Drops the hammer. Right on
Omar.
the back. Carefully placed.
It depends, Omar, on how they're written. Superman should win most of those fights unless Batman has contingency plans.
Turns it around on Luger.
If Batman has a lot of prep time with his they call that term again. He's written a certain way. Omar. Batman is written like a, what do they call it there? He has like a Deus Ex Machina character, which basically means that they're gonna write him to win. Right? So that's how Batman is always written, as a Deus Ex Machina character. And Superman is in a Omar. Omar, both of them they're gonna shake hands and they're gonna hang out in the Justice League, Omar. That's what they're gonna do.
Oh, man, he is fired up now. Oh, my, cover by the champ.
Why, Omar?
shoulder up at 2. He can't let that discourage him. He's got to keep on the offensive. Vicious right forearm.
Uh,
Here it comes.
Probably Superman, I guess. I don't know. But they ain't gonna write Superman to win, you know.
Pow, what a shot. And the manager is searching under the ring. He could only be looking for something nefarious down there. Oh, well scouted by Luger. He's returning fire. Hammer and sickle. Some hard offense landing on the champ. And hanging tough, but beginning to show some wear and tear.
Omar, you like his Hulk Hogan's facial hair and his look at his you like his mustache and his hair in the back, Omar?
Oh, did you hear that?
Which one, Omar?
And he finds an answer for the Hulkster. Able to reverse that one. Vicious right forearm. Back elbow completely cuts them off. Caught right on the jaw by an unsuspected uppercut. Oh, man. Hammer and sickle. Just muscling up their opponent into the gut-wrench suplex. Luger in a state of distress. Lex really has to show some more resistance. Hogan's in trouble, dropped to the mat with a knee. And now the right hand from his opponent. Hogan says, classic Hogan here. Hollywood Hogan fighting back. Not that way. A trio of punches. The whip, the boot, and here comes vintage Hogan with the leg drop. Turn around, the pin. The referee is missing
Come on,
a pin.
referee.
Strong kick out from the resilient
Hey.
champion. I'm just as shocked as everyone else, Cole, his opponent included. Hollywood off the ropes.
Hey.
Nothing fancy here. Backbreaker. Bam! Down he goes. Oh, got caught. What a press slam. The WWE Universe on the edge of their seats, waiting to see which way. Hogan looking to end this. Big leg drop. We can have a new champion. Looking for the victory. 2. The champ isn't going down easy. What a display of stamina. The champ showing they're truly worthy of this title. But things might only get harder from here. Hogan's got to be looking deep in himself, asking what will it take to get that 3 count. Hits champ looking to end this. 3. No, he kicked out. As close to 3 as you could possibly get without the bell ringing. Up and down. What a slam. Look at this crowd. It's insanity in here. Bedlam. Knee to the gut creates separation. And he slides
What did
him
he
back
say?
to the mat. Whoa.
What? Yeah, he's short, Omar. What does that have to do with anything? He's got a healing factor. He's got claws. I don't want to be doing claws like what am I going to heal very fast when I can be Magneto, who can you like that word, canonically, huh? Can control the magnetic spectrum. Omar, Magneto's not immortal. And he has stamina. And guess what happens when his stamina goes out? He's an old man, Omar. You know what happens to Magneto when he runs out of stamina? Because he's like 100 years old? What do you think happens to him, Omar? He gets exhausted. What happens when he gets exhausted, Omar? He's vulnerable. And he's human. And he can get beat up pretty easily if his force fields are not up. So, yes, Magneto has strong output. But I would argue that Magneto would have to be aware of his surroundings at all times. Because if he makes one mistake, all that power goes to waste.
Look at this raw power. Gut-wrench.
Oh my, those little fanboys. Oh, please, I've heard all sorts of...
Wrestle free their opponent's arm.
Omar, if they want to write
Delivering nasty stuff.
a story
And that holds Hogan back.
that is... I've read a story once that said his suit keeps him from running out of stamina. If they want to write whatever stupid things, they can write it, but... Omar, it's because you got the LGBTQ writing comic books nowadays, right? That's what it boils down to.
Eats a punch to the face. Oh, my goodness. Oh, this is just too far. Get some control in there. Oh, look at this aggression, just pure brutality.
Come on, easy.
Scoop slam by Hogan. And here comes the patent.
Oh, the title's in jeopardy here.
I think the paradigm has shifted. Cover. There's two. And the title's changing.
See, Omar... No.
It's safe to say things did not go to plan here tonight. Yeah, no one ever plans on losing their title.
They can make Magneto however they want to make Magneto, but personally, he's still a human. He's immortal. And as immortal, you have squishy organs inside of you. Now, they're going to try to say that Magneto's iron in his blood will protect his heart. Also, look, they could come up with anything, Omar. But the truth is that Magneto he's got very 10 out of 10 output power. What does that mean, Omar? He can level a city. Alright, Magneto can level a city faster than Superman can destroy a city. Fact. But where's his defense? He doesn't have stamina like Superman, let's be honest. Superman doesn't run out of stamina. He doesn't heal like Superman. They want to say that the electromagnetic spectrum is healing his mortal body. That's bullcrap. Superman is healed by the solar energy. So all he has to do is fly past the Van Halen belt and basically suck up solar energy. He survived nuclear bombs before in cartoons and comics and all that stuff. Even in the movies. Magneto is powerful, but if Magneto gets blitzed or caught off guard, he's done. So Yeah, but does Wolverine really lose? Because they say, like, even when you beat him up really bad, he still gets up, though, right? He doesn't really lose. Yeah, he gets restrained. Because he's not very strong, that's the whole thing. He doesn't have... Omar, it's because the comic books are written by friggin' I hate to say it, Omar, the comic books are written by stupid people nowadays. I don't go by them. I don't follow comics past, like, 2006. Because they're written by dumb people. That's part of this younger generation of, identity politics, okay, Omar? And everything is identity politics, which is a complete nonsensical thing. I don't agree with identity politics in any way, shape, or form. I think it's foolish. I think it's making yourself a victim. I think it's anti-biblical, anti-godly. I think it's I just think it's incorrect scientifically. I don't like identity politics. People who identify as this, that, the other thing. And unfortunately, the people that are in control of the comic industry is everybody that's a part of identity politics. Especially today. Like, Omar, like Omar, you got like furries writing comics nowadays. Like, you know that, right? You know that, right, Omar? Omar, the people who are writing your favorite superheroes don't know what a woman is. They can't identify a woman, Omar. You know what the answer is? How do you identify a woman? A person with a uterus. A person with XX chromosomes. A person who menstruates. A person who can give childbirth. Oh, well, crazy! Not every woman can give childbirth. How do you know that's a woman? Really? You're gonna go there? She's got XX chromosomes all over her cellular makeup. Oh, but crazy, some women have a Y. No, they don't. No, Omar, that's what they teach nowadays because they're incorrect. Omar, this is the world we live in. We live in clown world, upside down clown. And they go, oh, a woman is somebody who feels like a woman. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And then what's next, Omar? Oh, if I feel like a horse, I'm a horse. Of course, of course. This is why when I hear about these people running universities, Omar, and they're controlling Hollywood and the record industries and music and universities. Yeah, well, and schools, high schools. When I hear these people controlling this stuff, it makes me feel like it makes me think, not just feel, but think that we're living in the end times or something, because it's not normal. Yeah, she's an idiot. She lives by a insane doctrine. Yeah, well, she's an idiot, Omar. That's the end of the story. Oh, if they believe it. So I could say I'm Superman, and if I believe it, therefore it is. So I guess I should just jump out a window right now, huh, Omar? Is that what you're telling me? Because according to Mrs. Godfriend or whatever her name is, if I believe I'm Superman, I guess I am. Here, Omar, let me test it. Let me use my heat vision to heat up my controller here. Zzz. Oh, look, Omar, it's smoking. It's on fire. Oh, wait, no, it's not. Hey, but Miss Godly, you said if I believe in it, I can be it. How come I can't be Superman? And she'll be like, get serious, Omar. Get serious. Get serious, David. Get serious, crazy. I'm talking about gender as a construct. I'm not talking about comic books, which is a patriarchy, which is a male patriarchy. That caters to a male patriarchy. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about gender as a construct. Protect trans youth. Protect trans youth. Protect trans youth. That's what they love to say. Oh my, I would rip that poster right off a wall. I say there's no such thing as trans youth. Get it off the wall, please. You're disgusting. No, I'm sorry, but she's Omar. In my opinion, she's an evil lady. I hate to say it, but that's an evil lady in my opinion. And the fact that she feels comfortable to teach children her rhetoric makes it more disturbing to me. I really don't like this stuff. And I'm surprised like nobody says anything. I'm surprised like your parents are okay with it. I'm surprised that people in the class don't say nothing because everything's about the grade, right? Well, I can't have a failing grade. I can't have a failing grade. Well, then you need to go to a different school or something because the lady has serious problems. And the fact that they allow this woman to be like a teacher is alarming to me, actually. Let me make a coffee. Hold on. Agrees with who? Me or you? Or her? Yeah, Omar. But see, what you fail to realize, Omar, or what you're not seeing the big picture. And what is the big picture? I'll tell you. Omar, you live in a swing state, okay, in a Democratic district, and you go to a public school. So, of course, most people are going to agree with her. Okay? My nephew goes to a public school in a Republican area, and none of his teachers, not one, even my sister told me, not one of his teachers talk the way your Mrs. Godley talks. So, with that being said, if you were going to high school where my nephew goes to high school, you'd be like, oh my god, crazy. It's like a whole different world in here. It's a different high school. Everybody has like different views and stuff. But because you're in a public high school in a swing state, they have the views. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the reason. You live in a blue district in Wisconsin. And if you were in a public school in a red district, you would not have teachers like Miss Godley. It would not be allowed. She'd be fired. She wouldn't have a job in that school. So she has to be in a blue district. Otherwise, she'd have to keep her mouth shut with putting posters like protect trans youth and all those things all over the place without parents complaining. So if everyone agrees with her, it's because you're literally going to a Democratic, I wouldn't even say Democratic, but I would say far left, psychotic school district. That's what you're in. And Omar, guess what? The country didn't vote that way. So you're actually going to a school in the minority of what the country believes. So when you say everybody agrees with her, obviously the country doesn't, because they would have voted for what she voted for, right? So the country doesn't agree with her. I don't even think your state agrees with her, right? You said that you live in one of the only cities that voted blue in Wisconsin. Well, Wisconsin went red. So if Wisconsin... Let's back up, Omar. Omar, this music is loud. I'm sorry. Omar. All I'm saying, Omar, is... Now, it might have been the music was loud. All I'm saying, Omar, is that most of the country thinks like how I think, and how your mother thinks, and how my sister thinks. And, you know, like, when you look at your friends, of course you're going to have friends in your school that you go to. But when you look at the friends that agree with this stuff, they're wrong. And if you were to go to the same high school as my nephew, where there's like, 2,000 people or 1,000, 1,500 people, they would have the opposite view of Godley because they're in a red district. How do I know this? Because I ask my nephew all the time, do you hear these what kind of stories do they tell? As I said to my nephew, were they crying? Were the kids upset? He said, no, everybody voted Trump. He said all their parents voted Trump. It is what it is, Omar. It really has to do with the district of the school that you're in, if it's a public school. And if it's a private school, most private schools are going to vote conservative. And if that's not the case, then people homeschool their kids. And there's a reason why people homeschool their kids, because they don't want someone like Mrs. Godley 20 feet from their children in any way, shape, or form. I wouldn't either. I wouldn't want Miss Godly near my kids. I'd use a pole to push her away, like a harpoon pole, like they use with whales and stuff. I'd use it to like poke, prod at her to get her away from my kids. I'd be like, there's no way this whale is coming near my kids to teach the poison that she teaches. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Well, you're in a pretty big school district that's Democratic. Like I said, my nephew has almost the same amount of kids in his school, but they're Republican. So keep in mind that the country is almost half and half. However, it's more Republican. More people think how I think. They think how I would think your parents and your grandparents think, I'd hope. More people are on our line, man. Now, does that mean that people your age and younger are, far left liberals? Sure. Do they don't believe in God? They believe in, gender's a construct, this, that, the other thing. They learn all these things, and they're indoctrinated with these ideologues, identity politics, and all these horrible things that create division, and they're just spoon-fed to them, and they eat it up, man. They eat it up like they're eating poison, man, and they swallow each poisonous spoonful of it. They make you take tests on it. They make you write essays, third wave of feminism, and this and that. Well, you're probably one of the few people, Omar, that believe in God in that school. Because the far left has everything under control. They understand so much how the world works that they got gender down, man. They got gender down. Hey, gender's a construct. We're going on 8 billion pronouns if you want. Everybody can have their own unique pronoun, and if they believe they're a spaghetti sausage, then they can be a spaghetti sausage. Yeah, that's who I want to put my faith in when I have when somebody does a surgery on me in a hospital. What I'm saying is, Omar, if this keeps up, you're going to see the collapse of everything. I'm just being serious. Like, mark my words. I wasn't wrong in the past. You're going to see the collapse of a lot of things if people get indoctrinated with stuff like this. It's poison, man. Omar, you can believe you're a bear all you want, right? You could go in the woods and you can scratch a tree, and you could, mark your territory and go foraging for berries and fish, and then you'll see another bear, and then you can challenge that bear to a fight, and then you will get clawed up and eaten alive. And then you can, and then when you're dead, you could tell Mrs. Godly, you can haunt her and say, hey, Miss Godly, I believed I was a bear, and I fought another bear, and he kicked my butt, and he ate me. How come? You said if I believe in it, I could be it. And what will Miss Godly tell you? Will she be any help to you in the future? Will she help you with anything? No. She's lying to you. She's lying to the students. She is a poisonous teacher, in my opinion. Not a good person. She should really. It's sad for someone of her age to be like that too, because she's not exactly young. But that's what liberal ideology is. It's insanity. Liberalism is a mental disorder, especially when you take it. This is why Hollywood is failing, Omar. This is why P. Diddy has all the criminal things happening to him. This is why sex trafficking is a huge thing in Hollywood. This is why, when you look at the corruption that surrounds the liberal media and the Democrats and everything, when you look at the corruption that surrounds it all, you start to realize that Oh, like she knows. Yeah, she would have did better, right, Omar? So what was her? Why was it stupid? Did she tell you why? I love hearing this from the Democrats. The Democrats are eating each other alive on every talk show as of late, trying to explain how they could have did better. What did she tell you? All right, she's not wrong there. What else did she tell you? Right. Well, because she wasn't. How was she going to change America, Omar? We had her for 4 years already. She was going to do the same thing Biden was going to do. Yeah, well, that was it. Everything was just basically about Trump. He's a threat to democracy. We can't unburden. Listen, we have to unburden the burden of the unburdened. And I know that he is a threat to democracy. And you better thank your union for paid leave. Omar, she wanted to give trans operations to criminal immigrants in jail. Well, she never told us why, Omar. See, that's the thing with the Democrats and the liberals. They don't tell you why. They make claims without expressing the answer. So she called him a threat to democracy, but she didn't explain why. Because she doesn't really know how to explain why. The thing is with her, Omar, she didn't know how to explain anything. That was the bottom line why she lost. She was extremely unlikable, doesn't know how to explain anything, doesn't know how to talk about policies, like godly is right for a change. But yeah, she didn't talk about one policy. She didn't say what she was going to do. Everything was about Trump, Trump bad, Trump evil, Trump Hitler, Trump needs to go, threat to democracy. And guess what? Democracy voted him in. Because they saw her as a threat to democracy. Fact. Well, that's what a lot of the far left people were saying, yeah. Rachel Maddow, Don Lemon, all of them were saying that. Anderson Cooper. But it's just very foolish, Omar, to talk like that. We had him for 4 years already. It's not like we didn't have him, and he wasn't a fascist, he wasn't a dictator. It's like, stop calling him that. But yeah, look, the minute we got Biden, we got 100,000 immigrants in one day, and throughout Biden's presidency, we landed around, 12 million immigrants or something like that? Illegals. Oh, but they deserve to be in a country too. They deserve to be in a country too that treats them good. Oh, okay. So they deserve to get better treatment than our veterans, than our American citizens that were born here, that their parents paid into the tax system, that their grandparents paid into the tax system. So these illegal immigrants should get should come here, get handouts from the government, put us into debt, and also come from asylums like jails, right, in other countries, and they go do plea bargains, basically saying, okay, it costs too much money to keep these criminals, especially from MS-13 and all these different, um, gangs and trafficking and all that stuff. It takes too much money to support them in prison. So we'll give you an ultimatum, they say. We'll let you out of prison, but you can never come back to our country, or we will end your life. So then what do? They seek asylum. Where do they go? They come to America. Land of the free. And as soon as they enter America, they don't speak English. They go right on all sorts of Social Security, all sorts of aids, all sorts of help. They get free driver's licenses in some occasions. They get, because they plead with them, right? Because they get sent to sanctuary cities, right? But the sanctuary cities don't want no more because the mayors and the governors are saying, hey, you can't keep sending these people here, man. We're running out of room. So then they make deals with these people. Okay, if you vote Democrat, we'll give you a driver's license, but you have to live in Ohio, you have to live in Springfield, you have to live in Colorado, you got to live in Aurora, you got to live in all these different places, but we'll give you driver's licenses, we'll give you this, we'll give you that, and they make corrupt deals with them. Facts, not conspiracy, facts. You're not going to learn this in your school, Omar. This is not going to be a Mrs. Godly 101 here. This is a crazy man fact, and this is why we have Trump as the president. You understand, Omar? And that's only one thing. Then you got the far left that controls the schools. You got all the psychopaths at Silicon Valley. You got the climate advocates that are out of their mind. You got the race dividers that have to do with white guilt, white privilege, all that stuff. So this is part of the far left agenda, and I'm going to explain to you right here. You ready for it? This is it. This is what Godly would love to teach. She would love to teach this 24/7 if she was allowed to. It's basically feminism with inclusion of trans rights, which ironically goes against feminism, right? Because the trans are beating the women in all their sports and stuff like that. But that's okay because women on the Democratic side of things are stupid. So it's feminism with trans rights. Dumb, but okay. You have a false climate change narrative. They actually call it climate change now. It used to be called global warming. Why is it called climate change? Well, because they started realizing, sometimes it's global cooling. Well, I guess we can't call it global warming anymore. So now we just call it climate change. So let's go back to number one. We have feminism with trans rights. We have climate change. We have white privilege, white guilt. We have defund the police, Black Lives Matters, abolish prisons, abolish jails. What else? What other insanity do they have? Protect trans youth, all sorts of LGBTQ rights, identity politics all over the place. Gender is a construct. When you add all this together, it's like one bookshelf of psychopath. Right, Omar, but see, it was a different time back then, Omar. You can't have waves of when your grandparents came here, Omar, we weren't in debt the way we are. It's a different time, it's a different you have to look at it the whole picture. We're 35 trillion in debt and we're taking asylum seekers. Did your grandparents come out of prisons and jails? No. Were we 35 trillion in debt? No. So there's a difference. See what I'm saying? You know, years ago, people came here before Social Security was a thing, before handouts was a thing, before welfare was a thing. And they came here for religious freedom and religious rights and stuff like that because they were oppressed in their country and they wanted freedom. And America was a land of the free. But what happened is America is now the land of the freebies. People come here to take from America. You know, JFK Jr. said one time, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Right? Famous line. People come here illegally and don't do for their country. They come here and they take. And a lot of times they're criminals, especially with the wave of asylum seekers. I mean, I didn't think it was this high, but it's almost as high as 40%, man. It's that bad. So, let's see. Asylum seekers, sex trafficking, MS-13, gang members, fentanyl coming across the border, and liberal policies like defund the police, and cost of living and inflation higher than ever. Groceries cost more money than ever. Can't buy a house because houses cost more money than ever. So when you add all that together, you start to realize that there's a problem. You see what I'm saying? And you can't ignore it. You can't say, oh, these are people too, and I feel bad for them. You can't do that. And to be honest, I do feel bad for some of them. I'm not going to lie, but you know, that's why you ever heard the term bleeding heart liberal? It's basically a liberal that is so far left that they'll cut their own heart and bleed to death to help someone else. And if a nation does that on a whole, you have learned, except for science, observable science that you can test, and mathematics. Besides those two things, everything else you have learned in your school is a crock of shit. Excuse my language. I don't curse much anymore, but that's the truth. Everything. Everything you learn in that school, besides science and math, is a lie. And even, I would even argue that some of the sciences are a lie. Yep. Go ahead, Omar. No, it didn't. I'm still in it. I hear myself. Working fine for me. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. It might be your internet, Omar, because I hear myself fine. I'm actually playing it on my screen. Yeah, well, science, like I said, anything, science and math are the only two subjects in your school that matter at the moment. I would say history matters if you get a real sense of history, because we're historical beings. But for some reason, I feel like they don't teach you correct history, so I would probably, I would have to see the, I would really think people would have to see the history that they teach, because it seems like in the liberal schools that even the history is tainted. Everything is tainted, man. Science is good. Scientific theory is suspect, but science itself is not bad. Especially if it's practical sciences and observable sciences and periodic table of elements and, things like that, like chemistry and stuff like that. That's all fine. Biology and all that stuff. Well, that's good. And hopefully he teaches you proper history. Yeah, physics is cool. All that stuff's cool, man. Like, that's the practical sciences. Those are good. When I talk about scientific theory, I'm talking about the theory of evolution. I'm talking about stuff like that. Once you start to go into scientific theory, you have to be kind of cautious on how far you go into it, because scientific theory is not fact, but yet it's presented as 100% infallible fact, and I don't like that. They will say that everybody came from single cell organisms from the Big Bang. That's part of scientific theory. That's where evolution goes. Darwinism goes all the way back to the Big Bang, if you really take that serious. And then how do they explain the Big Bang? Yeah, Darwinism is they're going to teach you that, and a lot of it is nonsense. It's nonsense, a lot of it. They taught me that in my freshman year too. That's what you would call scientific theory. Darwinism is, a lot of it's nonsense, unfortunately. It just is. Many aspects of Darwinism do not pan out. You don't get complex organisms from single cell organisms. There's no evidence for macroevolution or evolution in any sense of the word. There's only evidence for microevolution, which is survival of the fittest, and it only applies to a kind of animal, a species in particular. We have no evidence of new species being birthed from other species. Never happened, never will. Darwinism is a lie. Period. What made him so what made him try to disprove God so much? Well, okay, Charles Darwin was really a messed up man. He liked to torture animals. He loved torturing animals. He was once a faithful Christian, I think. Pretty sure he was a faithful Christian at one point. His daughter was sick, wound up dying. He felt like God didn't answer his prayers, and then was on a mission to try to disprove God. And he was also a sociopath. They don't teach you that about Darwin inside in high school. Those things about Charles Darwin they don't like to mention. They like to talk about his trip to the Galapagos Islands. They like to talk about how he observed different finches and all that stuff. That's what they like to. Oh, well, Darwin observed this finch with a longer beak than that finch, and blah, 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 blah. But they don't like to talk to you about the true story of Charles Darwin. Learn about Charles Darwin. Do your own research, and you'll see why he's kind of a fraud. Actually, he is a fraud. See, Omar, what you have to realize as you get older, since you're not a kid no more, is there's a good percentage of your school system that lies to you. And the things that lie to you are going to be the liberal arts, yeah, well, tell her that's not how prayer works. Yeah, well, it's not instant, Omar. See, again, this is how they believe. Everything is instant. Well, you know what? You know what you say to that teacher? You say, I have a friend named Crazy who did pray that Trump would win, and he did. Tell her that. So say, so next time she says, why don't you pray about wearing your glasses? Say, well, I actually prayed for Donald Trump to win the presidency. I thought that was a more important prayer. Tell her that. I'm serious. Let me make another coffee. I said next time your teacher says, why don't you pray about it when you told her you don't like wearing glasses? You tell that teacher, well, actually, I wanted to pray about something more important than my glasses, and that was the presidential election, and I prayed for Donald Trump to win. Or tell her you have friends. Tell her I know a guy who prayed for Donald Trump to win. I guess that's a better answered prayer than my glasses, huh? Tell her that. I'm serious. You like that? You like that comeback? Yeah, exactly. So why don't you say that? I'm serious. Say that. Why don't you pray about it? If she's gonna, you'd say, "Oh, I don't like to wear my glasses." Oh, why don't you pray about it? Say, "Well, actually, my grandparents did pray for Donald Trump to win." What do you think she'll say? What do you think her answer would be to that? Would she have a breakdown? Would she shave her head? Would she join the 4B movement?
Right. So that's what I'm trying to say. You know, it really boils down to um, she could say something stupid to you that shows how godless she is. Why don't you pray about it? If you don't like wearing glasses, why don't you pray about it? With her messed up life, like you said, her life is a disaster. I bet you that's the same teacher. And then if you were to say, well, my grandparents actually did pray, and she'll be like, "What for, Omar? For you to she'll try to make fun of you again, right, Omar? She'll mock you, and she'll say, "What for, Omar? What, that you would like your glasses?" No, say my grandparents actually prayed for Donald Trump to win the president elect. And what would she say, you think? Would you be afraid to say that? I wouldn't. I would say that straight to her face. I'd be like, "Oh, a matter of fact, Mrs. So and so. Yeah, well, tell her, maybe, why don't you also say, maybe if you did pray, your life wouldn't be in shambles." Just food for thought. And my grandparents did pray, and we got Donald Trump as a president. Just food for thought. That's all. You see, but you notice if you answer them, you notice how, Omar, if you were to answer this teacher like that, this atheist teacher like that, she would probably get so angry at you, fail you, or cry, or storm into the PTA room or something. Like, it would be a real problem. You would trigger her, Omar. If you answered her the way I'm literally telling you to, it would trigger her, and bad things would happen. So it's better off you just leave it alone. But notice how it's okay for her to talk like that. But if you were to just give her a taste of her own medicine, she would be triggered. She wouldn't be able to handle it emotionally. That's a fact. You see? What's the question, Omar? Close my door. I don't know if it's gonna shut the voice off, but what's the question, Omar? I'm the repeater. I would probably say no. Some people may say yes. We don't really have any evidence of it. In a way, a lot of Reformed theology will believe in what they call cessationism, which means that the gifts of the Spirit ceased. Why do they say that? Is because, the whole idea of Christ dying on the cross, all the prophets led to that moment, right? So is prophecy a thing of today? Some Christians will say yes, some Christians will say no. I honestly think no, but there maybe could be. I don't want to rule it out 100%. So I really don't know. But I'd say 99% of the people claiming to be prophets, especially on YouTube, are not prophets. So that's how you got to think of it. Does that make sense, Omar? Well, it's what they prophesy either comes true or not, That's how it works. You don't know if somebody claims to be a prophet today for something 4 months down the line. You don't know until 4 months down the line comes. But when you get to my age, 4 months down the line comes quite a bit. And you see that a lot of prophets are wrong. So there are people that claim to be prophets that said things that didn't pan out. And that's what you would call a false prophet. And the Bible warns us about false prophets. So it really boils down to is if you make a claim, it either comes true or it doesn't. That's it. Now, if people are prophesying, for 1,000 years or 500 years or whatever the case is, that's a different story. We just will never tell. But most people don't prophesy like that. Most people are prophesying, is Trump going to get assassinated next, several months from now? Like people are, trying to prophesy things like that. And, I think I heard that video come out. I don't know. I'd have to look into things like that. I'm not saying it's impossible, Omar. I'm just saying you gotta check. You gotta remember something. We have a lot of people on Earth, and people are gonna say things, and sometimes people are gonna be right, and there's gonna be many times people are wrong. Here's a good example. The late night talk show host Jon Stewart. He's gonna most likely run for the Democrats in 2028 for presidency, because the Democrats are going to try to pull one out of Trump's playbook. They're going to get a famous guy like Jon Stewart, and Jon Stewart looks like he's going to run for the 2028 presidency. Now, I could be like a psychopath and say, Omar, in 2028, Jon Stewart's going to win. And if he wins, he wins. And then what? What did I tell you? I'm a prophet? I mean, some people will do that. They'll be like, see, Omar, I was a prophet. I'd be careful with prophecies, Omar, like that. Modern day prophecies. I wouldn't look into stuff like that, really. A lot of it is not meant to be known. Okay, the book of Deuteronomy in the Bible talks about divination and fortune telling and seers and sorcery, and it doesn't talk about these things in a good light. Okay? It's not good. So I wouldn't really look into prophecy. Now, a lot of Christians love to delve into stuff like that. The Bible is kind of clear on chasing signs and wonders, not to do it. So if you're looking to prove Christianity or the Gospels or God by trying to find a prophet or somebody who's anointed or somebody who heals people by laying of hands and all these type of things, if you're looking for that out of the church, you may be deceived. So just keep that in mind. that's something I wouldn't look for. Just be careful if you're gonna chase signs and wonders. I mean, sometimes I'll watch near death experiences because those are kind of interesting to me. But even those you got to take with a you got to the Bible says in 1 John, test the spirits, test everything you watch. You don't have to be afraid of watching things. It's always good to learn, but always take everything you hear with a grain of salt because people lie. People have agendas. People lie. People are sinful. People try to get views and likes and subscriptions, and that's what they do. I don't want to play Spider-Man. I don't want to play. I didn't even start it, Omar. I don't even think I started it, actually. But I did update it. And look, I barely played this game, too. And guess what, Omar? I didn't even play this. I've only played these two for a while. And I used to play Red Dead 2. I haven't played this in a long time. God forbid they update this game. No, Omar, I gotta lay down soon. I'm old, man, Omar. I'm an old man. I'm an old man, Omar. And as an old man, I think I gotta lay down soon. I'm an old man, Omar. Yeah, Omar, but LeBron is like... No. Omar, LeBron is a millionaire that has personal trainers and dietitians. He's like 40 years old going on 29. I'm not a millionaire, Omar, and I don't have the best diet, so I don't sleep that good. I don't have personal trainers. Alright, Omar, I gotta get going. I gotta lay down. Just be careful what you learn in those schools, Omar. If it's about math and like science that you can test, that's fine. And history from the anti-left person, that's good. But just be careful with any type of political lean that's too extreme. Because we live in a crazy world, Omar. Alright, I'll talk to you later.